Welcome to Echoes of Impact with Noura, the show where we dive deep into the stories, challenges, and breakthroughs of those creating real lasting change in the world. I am your host, Noura Almasri. In today's episode, we are going to have again an amazing guest. We hosted her last week. I spoke to her about kindness, her project, her campaign. And if you want to learn more about it, like the infrastructure of kindness, really, you want to go back after we finish today's episode. You want to go back to last week's episode to hear her introduction to this campaign. What is the idea behind it? You want to hear that from her. Today I'm going to be speaking to her again because we're going to talk more about kindness, the idea, what she's trying to do, and how you can participate on this campaign. Today, we are speaking to a great woman who is who embodies the balance between operational excellence and human connection. Julie Gordon is a seasoned technology executive and US Army veteran with over 35 years of leadership experience in IT operations, program management, and service delivery. She is a proud mother, a great wife, a manager of her remarkable 79 years old mom. Julie Julie works in so many ideas and so many projects. Her work proves that intelligence, firmness, and execution can live alongside kindness and genuine human interaction. Today, we'll begin by discussing how organizations can move beyond short term culture campaigns to build something truly lasting. We're going to continue the conversation with Julie Gordon. Welcome back, Julie. How are you doing today?
Awesome. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, Nora.
Of course, I'm so happy to have you again. It's really I'm very interested to learn more about your campaign because I haven't heard about such thing like kindness. We all talk about kindness. Be kind. That's all we know about kindness. We did not. I didn't hear anyone talking about kindness as an infrastructure. Can you remind us first? Like, can you tell the people a little bit about you? I know I did the introduction, but I would like to hear a few seconds about you from you, and then maybe introduce the kindness campaign a little bit before we move forward in the question for today.
Awesome. Thank you so much. As you stated, I have 35 years in IT. I've been a manager in the military. I've had leadership positions within the federal government. And I always have ideas and I always think of ways that I can improve operations and improve the way that business is done. And so kindness as an infrastructure is just another thing that I think would definitely optimize the way that organizations do business. And I don't want people to think that it's a sentiment, kindness as a sentiment, because there's principles to kindness that you can actually embed in your organizations that will actually improve the output, improve your service delivery.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So I've heard you mentioning that many culture initiatives are empathetic. Can you explain what you mean by that and why it is a problem?
Absolutely. So a lot of times an organization, they will begin a campaign or they'll have an idea or they may want to introduce something new to the organization. And it's like an event. They have a launch, they have a few workshops, maybe some posters, and then the premise of it all and the objective just fades away. Well, kindness as an infrastructure is built around systems, not moments. So the problem is behavior, it won't survive without a structural reinforcement. And that's where the infrastructure piece of kindness principles come in for us. So, without embedding the kindness principles into governance, policies, decision making, processes, then organizations, they just revert back to the old way, or the campaign or the episode of the campaign. It just fades away. Uh, Empathic Global Business Solutions, our focus is to really embed the kindness principles into the organizational operations.
And how do you do that? Like, how do you embed that into the organization solution?
Well, what you do is you look at a way to measure the pillars of kindness. And
Hmm.
that's what we do. We come into an organization and actually help the organization understand what are the pillars of kindness and then actually how to measure those and see results from it. You actually look at your existing policies and
Hmm.
your procedures and see how you can actually put human interaction into those processes and procedures, how you can consider the employees that are performing the work and the customer that's going to receive the deliverable. And there's actual processes and procedures that you can implement to ensure that you're hitting those marks and you measure and you see how it will improve your organization.
Interesting. You mentioned pillar of kindness. So what are the pillars of kindness?
So, accountability,
Hmm.
empathy, um, actually, I say that it's really not a sentiment, but you have to care, not only care about the employees and the customers, but care about how work is being done. You want to make sure that there's elements in your processes where everybody feels safe. So safety is one of the pillars. You have to feel safe where if something is not going right or if there's something that's not respectful happening in the organization, that you have the safety of speaking up. That has to happen from the top down. So those are key principles of the kindness pillars.
So you mentioned accountability, and I wrote those down.
Yes,
Empathy, care, and safety. So four pillars.
yes.
Okay. Interesting. And I love that. So accountable, I can see how safety, like when people want to speak up and so they can be assured like they're not going to lose their job because they express their opinion. But what about accountability? Like how is accountability is one of the pillars of the kindness.
So accountability is when you have to look at the people that are actually leveraging the processes, where there's management in that process, and the
Mhm.
managers are being held accountable to ensuring that they're empathetic, that they are having a safe environment. So those are the type things. So of all the pillars, accountability across them all, you have to make sure that the people that are actually facilitating the processes and that are running the organization are being accountable, that the metrics that you put in place are being upheld.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, that's a very good point. Oh, okay. Let's say one organization hearing us today and they want to start adopting these pillars. Where should they start?
Well, the first thing they should do is call us.
Good.
They should
How can they connect with you since we're talking about that?
absolutely, they can dial 844 and the letters empathic. So
Mhm.
I'll say it again, 844 empathic, or they can contact us at info@empathicglobal.com. And also we are on LinkedIn under Empathic Global Business Solutions. So
Mhm.
they could reach out to us. And the first thing that we will do is come and work with the organization to actually identify how they're doing business and look at where they are based on the kindness pillars, identify gaps, and then come up with a plan and milestones on helping them reach the objective. Um, as they consider whether they even want to implement kindness as an infrastructure, I suggest that leaders get with their managers and their supervisors within their organizations and really, and even the employees, and get a feel on how they are going about their day. How do they feel kindness fit into their workplace?
Mm-hmm.
Um, if the organizational leaders reach out to us, we can even give them the pillars of the kindness with the definitions and understanding, and they can start putting us putting the kindness as an infrastructure on their agenda in their business meetings to talk about it and get a feel on how their organization is running right now and how they could do better by using the kindness as an infrastructure deployment within their organization.
Awesome. So, what's the immediate reward if the organization starts doing that?
And I ask you to repeat that question, please?
What's the immediate reward? So, what's the organization would get like when they start implementing the kindness as infrastructure?
I think the key and most important thing that they will see first is that their employees start feeling safe. That pillar in the kindness principles is so key because once your employees realize that this is something that you care about and that this is something that you truly want to implement and embed within the organization, then that's where a little bit of sentiment comes in. They feel better. They
Mm-hmm.
feel like this is a place that I want to work. Um, Attrition is reduced because people want to come to work. They feel that they could be a part of change. They
Mm-hmm.
feel that if something is not going right or if there's something that goes against the outlook of kindness, they can say something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is the first reward that a business will see, just the fact that people want to work in your organization.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Julie. Time goes by very, very fast when we're talking, especially when we talk about kindness. So, thank you so much for your time today. Guys, stay with us. And this is your host, Noura Almasri. We'll be right back.
Thank you.